Now we have to talk about Plato's attack on poetry. The next session only we will be able to explain the whole, but we'll have to see how much he is concerned about morality or the certain points he mentions, Plato mentions. And three grounds he gives a very ruthless, a very, very cruel attack on poetry. Poetry as a literary genre, he is going to attack it on three grounds. And he has his own explanation for that. He's going to explain with a much maximum points. He adds the why doesn't he like poetry? Or why doesn't he promote poetry? Why doesn't he want many poets to come and gets prove their artistic bent? First part is poetic inspiration. First main attack is based on poetic inspiration. Poetic inspiration is really good, right? At 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, I wake up and write down poems if it comes then. If I'm doing some household work in upstairs and all, sometimes I go and keep a track, a diary and note the so pen and everything there. Because immediately if we don't write, I don't know whether this is an experience which is common. If we lose an idea, we have an idea immediately. If you don't write, you lose it and you cannot even take it back. You can't even recollect what I've been thinking then. Do you have that idea? You have that feeling, experience? I don't know. I'm asking those poets.
Yes, ma'am, you have to write
Yeah,
immediately.
obviously
Nothing
we have
forgets.
that. I have that, and sometimes I feel like crying if a loss if it is on travel and all. But nowadays I use the phone and now it's fine. I have notes. I have. Provision to write down notes and all. Sometimes if it is during traveling time, mainly during traveling time, I have some poems. And almost always I type down immediately and make it safe. But in the past, when I was not using phone and all, even before some 4 to 5 years, it was really sad to note it down. So that poetic inspiration, obviously, it's a different way. Everyone cannot write poetry. Everyone cannot write fiction. A person who writes fiction may not be able to write poetry. A person who composes drama may not be able to write fiction. So that is it. Even the genre-wise difference. That's why everyone is not a everyone can be taken as a writer. But you mentioned that poet, fiction writer, storyteller specifically. You have separate terms to mention their areas. Right. So poetic inspiration is something very different. Something beyond you can see, idealize. Not claiming something. Not really claiming. It's an experience. അങ്ങനെ ഭയങ്കരമായിട്ടൊരു അതങ്ങനെയാണ് ഇങ്ങനെയാണെന്ന് പറയുന്നതല്ല. പക്ഷെ അതങ്ങനെയാണ്. കാരണം ഞാൻ എപ്പോഴും അങ്ങനെ ചെയ്യുക. എത്ര രാത്രി നട്ടപ്പാതിരക്കായാലും എഴുന്നേറ്റ് ഓൺ ദ സ്പോട്ട് എഴുതും. കുഴപ്പമില്ല നാളെ എഴുതാൻ താല്പര്യം അപ്പൊ എനിക്ക് ഇത്രയും സ്ട്രോങ് ആയിട്ട് എന്നെ സ്ട്രൈക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരു ഐഡിയ അല്ലേ. ഞാൻ അത്രയും ഇപ്പം റിസ്ക് എടുത്തിട്ട് എഴുതും. ഞാൻ അങ്ങനെ ചെയ്യലില്ല. കാരണം അത്രയും ഒരുപാട് പ്രാവശ്യം അങ്ങനെ എന്തൊക്കെ ഐഡിയാസ് ലോസ് ആയി പോയി. ഒരു തരത്തിലും റിട്രീവ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റൂല. So it's a kind of inspiration. You're inspired with some ideas, some kind of issue, some experiences of yours. So you are inspired. And obviously, majority of people appreciate that inspiration. Those people who appreciate art appreciate this inspiration, but not Plato. Plato is not actually really appreciable towards it. അയാൾക്ക് ഇഷ്ടമല്ല. മൂപ്പര് പറയും എന്താണ് ഈ ഇൻസ്പിറേഷൻ വലിയ പ്രശ്നമാണ്. ഹി വിൽ ഡിസ്ക്രൈബ് വാട്ട് ഹിസ് വാലിഡ് പോയിന്റ്സ് ആർ. ഹി വിൽ ടെൽ us the points. We'll come to that. Emotional appeal. Think about it. Intellectual plus intellectual versus emotional. Plato being a philosopher, statesman, he doesn't want everyone to be very emotional. Emotional content, if you're emotional content, your heart is at work. If you're intelligent, your brain is at work. So being practical, to make your life practical, based on practicalities, you would like to you people prefer it, prefer that your intellect works, your brain functions. But emotionally bent people, their emotional quotient is at the top. It's functioning fast. But Plato is not really happy about that as well. The non-moral character of poetry. So next main point is non-moral character. Main problem is with the morality. He's a strong moralist. So he doesn't want to promote anything, any of the say if this endowment Jimmy will end up and cut on to boy. Then other lines. If you sing that, if you go with that song to song to this person, he would have beaten you like anything. That composer would have criticized like anything. Would have been criticized like anything. അന്ന് മൊറാലിറ്റിയാണ് അവർക്ക്. ഇപ്പൊ നിങ്ങൾ ആലോചിച്ചോ ആ ഒരു പാട്ട് നിങ്ങൾ ആ ഒരു ഫിലിം സോങ്ങിന് വെറുതെ പാടുന്നതിനേക്കാൾ അതിന്റെ കുറച്ചും കൂടി ഒന്ന് ലൈൻസ് ലൈൻ ബൈ ലൈൻ ജസ്റ്റ് യു തിങ്ക് അബൌട്ട് ദാറ്റ്. എന്താണ് അതിൽ പാടുന്നത് അല്ലേ? അപ്പൊ അത് ഒരു താളത്തിലങ്ങോട്ട് പാടാനൊക്കെയാണ്, പക്ഷെ അതിൽ എവിടെയാണ് മീനിങ് ഉള്ളത്? Is it really meaningful like the way you listen to some of the melodious songs in the past? Basically, I got nostalgia. But അതിൽ morality content stick on ചെയ്യുക എന്നുള്ളത് എല്ലാം completely, if you have to stick on morality according to Plato, you have to avoid even talking about love. Which is major, one of the main parts and themes of any composition, any literary composition. അതുപോലും എഫോർഡ് ചെയ്യാൻ ഇവർക്ക് പറ്റൂല. കാരണം ഇവർ അത്രയും സ്ട്രിക്റ്റ് മോറലിസ്റ്റ് ആണ്. ഹി വിൽ ഡിസ്ക്രൈബ് ഇറ്റ്. അത്രയും കാര്യങ്ങൾ നമ്മൾ പറയാനുണ്ട്. ഇതിന്റെ ഓരോന്നിലും പ്ലേറ്റോ എന്ത് പറയുന്നു എന്ന് നമ്മൾ കാണും in the next class. Okay, now I don't want to exceed more time, and again I want to test your patience. So thank you so much for your cooperation. Thank you so much for joining.